Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. My name's Em. If you don't know, now you know. I want to preface, if you're watching on YouTube today, the lighting might be all sorts of fucking crazy. It's 6:48, which is significantly later than I ever record. I normally try and record around like 1 to 2 p.m. because then I get good sunlight, but it's not beaming me in the face, which it is right now. It's 7 p.m. and that's when we're recording today. So I might not look at the camera a whole lot because I can't really see. Also, the lighting's probably going to shift. I'm also holding the microphone today, so if the audio's kind of fucky and you hear me hitting the microphone, I apologize. Nobody ever said that I was good at having a podcast or that I should have a podcast. But anyways, how are you guys? How was your week? I haven't recorded in over 2 weeks because last week's episode, which, I mean, technically it just went up a couple days ago, but it was the episode with Kendall, which so many people loved, which I'm very excited about because I want to have her on so much more. Like, I had a lot of fun recording with her, and I don't know, it was very fun. We've jokingly talked about having a podcast together since we met, like almost 5 years ago, so it was really fun. I'm glad you guys liked it, but I had so many issues with, first of all, editing it. We had almost 2 hours of footage just for the first episode, and it took me a long time to go through. Then I was having issues with the video not rendering, and it didn't want to upload to YouTube, and the audio didn't want... It was a whole thing. So it went up a couple days late, but if you haven't seen that, you guys should, because it was really funny. If you don't follow the Instagram, go follow the Instagram. But I also made a TikTok for the podcast. It's just Hey From Em, the exact same as the Instagram. And I've been posting reels every couple days from like little clips of each podcast episode, and they've been doing really well, and I think we're getting a lot more traction just from people seeing the reels. So if you haven't seen them, or if you haven't followed the Instagram or followed the TikTok, you should. I hope you guys had a good week. I had a pretty, I don't know, it was like an okay week. I struggled getting into the gym this week. Like, I just was not feeling it. I've also been feeling pretty sick for the last couple days, so that doesn't help. So I'm hoping that next week we kind of get back into it. I did buy running shoes yesterday for outside because I think I've convinced my sister to start running with me this summer. And by running with me, I mean just like also running so that I know that I'm not struggling alone. I had to go buy new runners because the runners that I was using last summer killed my feet. So anyways, we got new runners, so I'm hoping to start running this upcoming week now that the weather's nice. Guys, it was like 15 degrees outside today. I brought the cats outside today for the first time, and I don't know, I'm just excited. I'm feeling a lot more hopeful about life now that the weather's nice and my summer personality is slowly thawing out. Hey, guess what? Today we're going to talk about why TikTok sucks. I know I just told you to go follow me on TikTok. Still do that. But we are going to talk about why TikTok sucks today, but also the fact that it sucks, but I'm painfully addicted to TikTok. It has been consuming my life. There is a YouTuber that I have watched her videos for a couple years now, but like recently I've been obsessed with her content again. Kelty O'Connor on YouTube. I'll link her YouTube down below. You should go watch it. Essentially, a lot of her content is Huberman, which, if you don't know who Huberman is, that is a whole nother episode that I could get into that I really want. I don't know that it'll be a podcast episode. I really want to make a YouTube video about Huberman and, like, following, essentially, his routine. Anyways, so Kelty, a lot of her content is focused on, like, oh my god, I cannot pronounce his name. A lot of her content is focused on the Huberman, like, ideas, I guess, and she talks a lot about dopamine and dopamine reception and how to, like, you know, do dopamine cleanses and stuff like that. And I let me just say, my ADHD, not that I'm blaming my ADHD for all of my life's problems, but my ADHD makes it really difficult for me to, like, have a low dopamine morning and low dopamine evening, stuff like that, because I crave that dopamine. As Kelty says, like, she's like a dopamine goblin. Like, from the second that she wakes up, which this is me too, I just want that hit of dopamine. I want something that'll give me that, like, happy chemical release. And lately, and by lately I mean for the past few years, it's been TikTok. TikTok, or like any, like, reels, And anything like that is constantly updating and constantly showing you new content in a fast pace like that is basically like putting an IV drip of just straight dopamine into your brain. Because your brain loves the fast-paced, like, okay, I'm watching this 10-second video, and then I'm watching this 10-second video, and then a 30-second video. Oh, back to a 10, the constant feedback of TikTok, your brain just loves it. And your brain grows to, like, crave and desire the ongoing dopamine hit. So that's why so many people struggle with, myself included, all of this applies to me. Sometimes life feels so slow now compared to a couple years ago. Like, I used to love long form content. I grew up watching YouTube. It was like, that was my happy place. And I still do. And now more than ever, I make it a priority to try and watch long form content because of the fact that so much of the content that I consume, mainly TikTok and the odd occasional Instagram Reels, which I don't ever really use Reels, it's such fast-paced content that your brain doesn't actually absorb anything. And then when you switch from only watching that short form content, and like not even short form, but just fast-paced content, and then you go and try and watch like a 30-minute YouTube video, it feels so slow, or your life just feels slow. Because again, theoretically, what TikTok is it's creating, this is like between the algorithm and everything that is TikTok, it creates like an endless feedback loop by altering your For You page to show you content that not demographically, but like statistically, you are most likely to enjoy and you are most likely to interact with. That's what algorithms are. The algorithm of TikTok is designed to see what type of content first of all, you're watching the entire video or you're rewatching it, the content that you're liking, the content that you're favoriting, and then that's what it's going to show you more of, which is why if you like one TikTok, this has happened to me so many times, this like obscure TikTok will come up on my For You page, and because it's like this weird concept or this weird topic, whatever it is, I'll watch the whole thing because I want to know like why this is on my For You page. I don't even have to like it. But because of the fact that I watched that entire video, now within like 10 swipes, my entire For You page is going to be content relating to that topic. Which, first of all, fucking scary when you actually think about like how that works. But also, it's just, that's the issue, I'm not saying the app is bad, blah, 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 blah. We'll get to that. My issue is that I get like, again, these random topics, and then I watch the entire video, and suddenly my entire For You page is like a doom scroll of this obscure topic that I do not need to be talking or learning about. This is I found a random article that like was talking about TikTok addiction, which I don't think scientifically, like social media addiction is not recognized as a genuine addiction yet. I don't think. I might be wrong. Don't fact check me on that. Actually do. If you know, let me know. But I'm pretty sure that it's not classified as an actual addiction yet. But psychologists and counselors and neurologists and neuroscientists recognize the fact that social media and the consumption of social media is altering the way that our brains work. It is altering the way that we process information and the way that we want to process information. So, if you're wondering if you have an addiction to TikTok, these are a couple symptoms. These are just very generalized. Feeling restless when not using TikTok. Feeling easily distracted when not using TikTok. Experiencing heightened FOMO, which is fear of missing out, if you didn't know, when not using TikTok. Neglecting relationships or important responsibilities due to TikTok. Wanting to cut down on TikTok use but feeling unable to do so. That's me. Having sleep problems, i.e. constantly going to bed very late due to using TikTok. Again, those are very generalized. It's like, that's a very short list. But a lot of these things, I think more people experience them than they realize. So like feeling restless when not using TikTok. That doesn't have to mean that like if I'm sitting at work, I'm not sitting there like itching. I'm like, oh, I want to go on TikTok so bad. That's not the issue. The issue is that I get bored so easily and so fast with like my day-to-day life because you aren't having that constant stream of content and constant stream of information, regardless of if you think it is or not. Every single video that you are watching on TikTok is a piece of information that your brain should be storing, theoretically. A good memory, you should be able to remember a TikTok that you watched in the morning. But I think we talked about this in a past episode. You watch a TikTok, and then 3 TikToks later, you don't remember what that first one is. And it happened less than a minute ago. And that's alarming. So that's what I feel when I'm like, oh, I feel restless without... I don't feel restless when I'm not using TikTok. I get just so bored. And my dopamine receptors are fried. They truly are. Like, them bitches are gone. I saw a TikTok. Funny. I saw a TikTok, was it yesterday? A couple days ago? That this guy was talking about the fact that he knew he had a problem when he was scrolling on TikTok, but he was so bored that he wanted to go on TikTok. You know what I mean? Like, because we've gotten so used to this fast consumption of content that it doesn't feel fast enough anymore. Why do you think that people have to, like, if they're doing a story or they're, posting a clip of a movie, they're putting Subway Surfers on top of it, because now not only is your brain absorbing the information that's coming from the actual video, you're also watching somebody play Subway Surfers, stuff like that, because our brains have become so accustomed to just consuming this content at an insane rate. And it's alarming that we're now having to, like, make new ways to still give us, like, that dopamine hit of this fast-paced content. It's alarming. I don't know. Here's the thing. So many people don't see an issue with this, and that's fine. If you want to believe that this isn't an issue and that you don't have a problem and that this isn't negative, whatever. Ignorance is bliss. Do whatever you want. It scares me. Like, it's genuinely... It's a little alarming to me that when I wake up in the morning, I know that I need, like, I think I talked about this when I talked about morning routines, but I can't really do, like, the low dopamine mornings. I can't do I can't wake up and have no external stimuli. Obviously, that's not, but you know what I mean. Like, I can't wake up and just exist in myself for the first 90 minutes, because I'll just go back to bed. If I don't have some sort of stimuli, I'm going back to bed. Like, I need something. The issue is that I always turn to TikTok. I go grab my phone out of the kitchen, which is where I charge my phone, and then I immediately go sit back in bed, and then I scroll on TikTok for 2 hours. Defeats the whole purpose of me waking up early. Like, I wake up early because I want to be productive and I want to, like, accomplish things in the morning before I have to go to the gym and before I have to go to work. That doesn't help if I'm sitting on TikTok for 2 hours, If I'm, like, eating breakfast or just eating a meal, the fact that I have to, like, consciously think about not scrolling on my phone while I'm eating is alarming. That's so fucking scary to me, because that's just the default. Like, I sit down, I'm eating breakfast or lunch or supper, or I'm eating, like, I'm getting a snack. Half the time if I'm home, normally my TV is always on, just playing. Half the time it's just random background noise. But then I'm also on my phone. So not only am I eating, I'm also haphazardly watching something on TV while also scrolling on my phone. Why? Like, why is that a thing that I have to do? It shouldn't be. Like, I should be able to just sit for 10 minutes, eat a meal without needing this constant stream of information and constant stream of content to exist. Or, like, I go to the gym. Well, I'm at the gym for an hour. What do I do in between sets? I go on my phone. Why? Like, it's just, I get it. This is, like, the way that life is now. I can't, like, completely remove myself from social media and stuff like that. And I also don't want to. I love social media. I love what it does for people. I love the opportunities that it gives people. And I also just like that it allows you a possibility to connect with people that you otherwise wouldn't. However, there's a difference between me embracing social media and using it to create a source of happiness in my life, and me being entirely reliant on stuff like TikTok to constantly give me, again, like, this dopamine drip, this, like, IV of dopamine throughout the entirety of my day. Especially because it's not really working anymore. The last, like, 3 days, I have been so bored as I'm scrolling on TikTok. That should not be a thing. I should not, like, my brain should not have the ability to be bored while I'm on an app and, like, a user face that I am constantly refreshing and constantly changing the content that I'm watching. That's insane. That's alarming that my brain can even possibly be bored while I'm doing that. I don't want that to happen. Like, I don't want that anymore. That's not what I want. It's not, like, I don't feel good about the fact that I can be bored while I'm on TikTok. Or half the time I'll be on TikTok and then I get bored, so I close TikTok, go on Instagram for like 2 seconds, and then I'm like, no, this isn't fast enough. Like, it's not getting into my brain fast enough, and I go back to TikTok. And then it's this endless cycle of like wanting this stimuli but not actually being able to get it from anywhere because my dopamine receptors are gone. Like, my brain is fucking fried. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I think if anybody has any like great suggestions for how to, honestly, like, I would say just like help my dopamine reception, but mainly like TikTok. Let me know, because Girly Pop is struggling a little bit. And the other thing, I used to think that I spent so much time on my phone because I wasn't doing anything with my day and I wasn't busy. I would argue that, like, I'm a decently busy person, you know? Like, my day is scheduled out. Like, I schedule my week on Sundays. So, like, Sunday mornings, I sit down. I schedule almost every hour of the next week, Monday through Sunday. And, like, keep in mind, that's me, like, scheduling in, like, okay, here's, like, my hour to watch TV before I go to bed. Or here's, like, 30 minutes in the middle of the day for me to just chill and sit on my phone. So I'd say, like, I'm a decently busy person, and I find things to occupy my day-to-day. The issue is that TikTok and, like, just social media in general, but TikTok, I've managed to, like, fit that in everywhere. So, like, I'm getting ready in the morning, I'm standing in the bathroom doing my hair, I have TikTok playing. I'm cooking breakfast, I have TikTok on my phone, sitting on the counter while I'm, whatever. I'm on the treadmill after my workout, and I'm on TikTok. Whatever it is. I find I shouldn't say that TikTok finds a way to exist. I create space. I create time for TikTok in almost every facet of my life. And it's scary. I don't like it. I've tried to do, like, I've been really, really trying to reduce my screen time just in general on my phone and, like, my computer and stuff. And sometimes it works really well. Like, sometimes I can really stick to it. About for the first, like, 2 weeks, I can really stick to, like, sub 2 hours on my phone a day. Which is still, when I think about it, I'm like, that's a lot of time on your phone. Like, that's, But at my worst, like, when it was really bad, I was sometimes spending, like, almost 8 hours on my phone every day. And that's, oh my god, that's so bad. Like, it's so bad. So I'm trying to not be as strict with my screen time. Like, I don't actually have screen time restrictions on my phone right now because most of the time they don't work super well for me. I just kind of get annoyed that I'm getting the notifications, and then I, cancel them anyways. So I'm not setting, like, screen time limits on my phone, but I am just trying to be a lot more conscious and a lot more, like, specific, and I don't know, like, I'm trying to be more intentional with the time that I do spend on my phone. So I deleted a bunch of apps on my phone, and basically anything that I can do on my computer, I deleted off of my phone, because I think that's one of the big issues is I was doing a lot of work, and I was, like, a lot of things that didn't need to be done on my phone, I was doing on my phone. And I know that it's still a screen when I'm sitting in front of my computer. Like, I'm still on my computer. I'm still in front of a screen. But I just tend to be more intentional with the time that I spend if I'm working on my computer or the iPad. Whereas if I'm on my phone, it is this little box of magic that, okay, 1 second I'm doing work, and then I go watch a couple TikToks. And 1 second I'm doing work again, and now I'm on Instagram. Like this back and forth where I can't watch TikTok on my computer. I mean, I probably could if I really wanted. I can watch TikTok on my TV. I deleted that because it felt like, it felt like a loophole of, like, well, technically I'm not on my phone. You're still watching TikTok on an even bigger screen. Like, get your shit together. But yeah, I'm just trying to be a lot more intentional with what I have on my phone, like what I allow to take up space mentally on my phone, I guess, and how much time I spend on certain apps. So I don't know, it's been kind of helping, but I'm just in this weird spot of like, I feel so bored with so many aspects of my life that I turn to like this fast-paced content. So that's one other thing is I'm trying to switch that out for a lot more like long-form content again, because like I said, I used to love watching YouTube video and like long YouTube videos. Give me like a 45-minute video. Wonderful. My favorite. And now sometimes I struggle to get through them. Like it takes me a lot longer than that 40 minutes to actually get through a 40-minute video, because I feel the need to like pause and go get a snack and go do stuff, and I'm getting up and I'm sitting down and I'm moving around the house, whatever it is. So I'm trying to replace my like nightly TikTok scroll before I go to bed with like a 30-minute video, or just watching like a couple 10-minute video, just anything to help me regain that ability to watch long form content and thoroughly enjoy it again. And I suggest you do the same, because it has been helpful. And just in general, I'm trying to be a lot better about where I get my dopamine from in a day, especially in the morning. I think in a couple weeks, my work schedule is changing in a couple weeks. So I'm hoping to do like a week-long, kind of like the Andrew Huberman, but like a full, do the full thing. Maybe not the full thing. I don't have a cold plunge, but I can do cold showers. I already do cold showers. But there's a couple. We'll see. And I think we'll do like a full YouTube video of like a week-long Andrew Huberman life routine, I guess. Kelty did a video like that, which I get all of my life inspiration from Kelty currently. So if you haven't, you should go subscribe to Kelty and watch her content. She does a lot about like health and wellness and stuff like that. And in a very consumable and a very, like, attainable way. She doesn't make it seem like health and wellness and things that she's doing are, like, you have to have $1 billion or you have to, like, do XYZ. She just makes it seem very attainable. I highly recommend going and subscribing to her and watching some of her content. But I'm addicted to TikTok, but I fucking hate TikTok and everything that it stands for. I suggest trying to find ways to reduce the amount of time that you spend on TikTok. This is very much the beginning of me like reducing how much time I spend on TikTok and just social media in general, but especially like TikTok and any other super fast-paced social media. So I don't have any like rock solid advice. Like I can't sit here and say like I was addicted to TikTok and I did these 3 things and now I'm so I guess we'll just kind of keep it updated. Like I'll try and update you every couple weeks about how it's going. The sun is going down. My lighting has changed drastically. Apologies if you're actually watching on YouTube. I think this has been a shit show. Dinah's tail has been in and out of the camera, and we're going to cut her off here. So go follow the Instagram, guys. It's Hey From M. Also the TikTok, except, go follow the TikTok, but don't, like, watch a bunch of TikTok. You know what I mean? Go subscribe to Kelty on YouTube. I'll link her down below. And also, leave a like, leave a comment, leave a review, whatever else it is that they let you do. Doesn't make a big difference for you guys, but it makes a huge difference for me. And we're also on YouTube, if you don't know. It's just Emily Brilliard. And yeah, you'll get a new cute little video in a couple weeks about me doing the fucking Andrew Huberman shit. So that'll be super fun. I'm also going home in a couple weeks, so you'll get a home vlog. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll keep you guys updated on Instagram, like on my story. The Instagram's Hey From M. Did I already say that? The Instagram's Hey From M. Also EBFit if you want to follow my personal, like, health and wellness page. But maybe I'll keep you updated on that, like on there over the next couple days about how I, am reducing my time spent on TikTok. But anyways, thank you so much for listening this far, guys. I'm so grateful that you're here, and I hope you have a wonderful week. We'll chat next time.